Good morning and welcome back to the Big Bear Yarns podcast, episode number 18. I'm Anna, the dyer behind Big Bear Yarns. I live in Essex in the UK with my cat, my 2 dogs and my sister. And this is my podcast where I'll talk about everything I've been knitting and crocheting. Generally it's just knitting and crocheting. I have been getting my drop spindle out, so I might show a bit of my spinning, but I'm not good at spinning. But maybe at some point I will show. It's just like art yarn really for me. Yeah, I'll just get started. So I have got some finished items for this week. I finished these socks. I think I hadn't quite finished these last week, I don't think, because they're number 31. Had I? If I had finished these last week, I apologise, I'm showing them again. I don't think they had, because I left them up on the side with my little yarn ready to go. But this is a problem that happens when you don't take notes. And you know what I don't do? I don't take notes. So here we are. They were number 31 anyway for the year. And I'll just tell you about them anyway, just in case. Honestly, I can remember the name of like any actor in a film I see. I'd be like, oh, that's that one person who was in this like this random TV show we watched 12 years ago. He had like 2 lines, was in it for 10 seconds. That's that guy. But can I remember what I showed a week ago? No, it's just not going to happen. So these are Stylecraft Head Over Heels All Stars. This is the last time you'll be shown this, so you know. Shade 3917 Saltaire. I do think I might have actually told you all about this, because I feel like I mentioned how much was left of this. Yeah, like 36 grams. I feel like I did this last time, but either way, here we go. They're for my mum. So, socks number 2 are these ones. I'll show you the pretty side first, because the other side isn't quite as pretty. I got the jog. Do I care? No, not a bit. Not one part of me cares about the jog. Yeah. So these are for me. These are in my own hand dyed. This was a sock set in my shop in I think maybe 2023. This was the wildflower sock set. So you got this micro striping yarn, and you had like a little it was like a sage green mini that was quite similar to this stripe here. Oh, I don't know if that's actually true to life at all. That's better. It's like it was like a sagey green one. But that's not available anymore. And the dark blue is Erebus's Silence. So I remember about Erebus. Like these were, no, these, I don't know what I'm talking about. These were not finished last week, but this colour was finished in it. These were socks number 32. All my socks are knit on 2.5mm DPNs, various types. Generally, unless I say otherwise, like they're for someone completely different, there'll be 64 stitches. Cuff down, I normally do 20 rounds for the cuff. I've been doing a lot of 2x2 ribbing. As these are for me, I do 70 rounds to the toe for my UK size 7 UK size 7 foot. So they're the only finished items I have this week. One of them might have not been a finished item from this week, but you know, it is what it is. So I'll go through what I've been working on. So I've got some new socks on my needles. I've got this these are, so I've cast on now all my June yarn I picked out to cast on in June. It is July, but I've cast on now. I was behind. So these are going to be for my sister. They are scrappy because all the socks from June were scrappy. To try and work down my scraps. Has it worked? Sort of. There are fewer balls and cakes of yarn in my scraps, but there are still way too many. So this is my hand dyed. This is, that's not, no, that's truer to life. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, it's like an aqua blue with, this is on my sparkle base. It's got so many colours in it. It's actually a delight to dye it because it's not meant to, they're not meant to be the same. Each colour, each skein is meant to be different. That's the beauty for me in this one. So you've got like this, you've got like purples, and you've got this like grinchy green. This is a Christmas colour. I've got actually a couple here to show what they look like in the skein. So here is a sparkle. It's a silver stellina. Oh, one of my hairs. Yeah, so you might be able to see it better in here. You've got all the different shades you have in there, and they're all completely random. And then this is it in the standard merino nylon sock. So Christmas colour. I've still got a few of them left, and they are on, included in my sale, which is 30% off in the UK. And I'm only saying that, reminding people of that, because it's better for you guys to buy the yarn when it's 30% off. It's better for me when you buy it at full price. So I'm just reminding you because it's not going to be on sale forever. And if there is something you want, I'm not restocking anything while the sale's on, so if there is something you want, grab it while it's 30% off, because saving 30%. Unless you didn't intend to buy something, don't be convinced to buy something just because it's on sale. I do that all the time. I'm terrible for it. So 64 stitches. I've done 10 rounds of the cuff, but I will do 10 more. These are Knit Pro Zing, one of my favourite needles. I've got a lot of Knit Pro Zing needles. I'm gonna do these similar. If you've watched previously, my Rose Tea socks, where I did the cuff in Rose Tea, and I did 5 rounds each just under the cuff, just the beginning of the leg, in the pinks, and I did the rest of the leg in Rose Tea, and I did the 5 rounds before the heel. You know, those ones. I think I'm going to do this like that with these two. These are my own colours as well. Let me see if I can remember what they are. This is covered in cat hair. My cat I found sleeping in my bowl of scraps. She's been a very naughty cat recently. This is Dread Persephone. This I think is Artemis's Forest. Yeah, this is Artemis's Forest, and I think that'll be a lovely match for that. So not much more to say about those ones really. Oh yeah. So these are, I've finished the leg on these scrappy ones. I did what, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 rounds of the leg. I've I've done the heel flap. I need to do the heel turn. I did the heel flaps over the weekend because I've realised cuffs I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'll do them, they're not a big deal. Heel flaps are my least favourite part of a sock, so I thought I'd just sit down and get a load of my heel flaps done over the weekend, just so I was ahead for the week. I think I quite like these colours together. They're a bit this one I think not the best, but you know, they're scrappy, they're fun, they'll do. They're socks, who cares that much? Not me. So these are on my Addy Premium. They're 10 centimetres long, so they're quite significantly shorter. Let me hold them up with one of my Knit Pros so you can see. So they're considerably shorter than the Knit Pros I use, which are 20 centimetres. No, these must be 15 centimetres. Because these are 10. And like you see here, you need to use needle stoppers when you're doing things like the heel flap, because these stitches will come off. But these are all, what are they again? Okay, this is my hand dyed on my Regia sock base. So any of my yarns in my shop that say rustic sock will be the Regia, from the Regia undyed yarns. So if you like, which has a very similar feeling to like West Yorkshire Spinners, and just it is the Regia sock yarn. So if you use Regia sock yarn, that's what this feels like. It's rustic, it's not a merino. This one is a West Yorkshire Spinners Zandra Rhodes, and this is Drops Fable in the burgundy colour. I'm not sure what exact colour it is. So that's them. And then, oh yeah, another heel flap, because like I said, I wanted to get loads of my heel flaps done. So these are for me. I was suddenly thinking I've got way too many needles, but no, I've got 5 needles, which is what you should expect, but obviously I've got only 3 in use at the moment. Knit Prosings. I did 50 rounds again for the leg. I did 30 rounds for the cuff. See, I've done several 30 round cuffs, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to try wearing them. I think they might be good for, like, for the stretch. We'll see. Maybe they'll look better when the sock is complete, but at the moment it just seems like a lot of cuff for not that much sock. We'll see. So, slip stitch heel. This yarn is Merino Cashmere Nylon. I don't remember the name of it. It's by Little Big Craft. They do still have some yarn in their shop. Not much, but there are a few skeins, and they are good. It's good yarn. I like it. And this is a second yarn, so like a mistake yarn from Can I do it again? I did it last week. Molten Yarns. Just a soft pink with slight, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's got these like little bluey purpley flecks, which are very pretty. So not much more to say about those. This first sock should be done by next week, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be on the 2nd. We'll see. I've got a lot of this pink yarn left, so we'll definitely be seeing that again at some point. It's a very candy flossy kind of pink. And a little nugget. I should, with the 30 rounds of the cuff, I should actually have very little of this left at the end of it. Okay. So this bag you won't have seen for ages because it's been upstairs and I haven't done anything. And what I've decided is just doing a plain old sock in this one colour. It's not filling me with delight, and my knitting should just be fun. So I am going to scrap this and cast something else on, do something else. I'll be scrapped. Frogged. Okay, so the Zinnia yarns are down to the toe, so these will be done. These will be a finished item for next week. What am I to say? Yeah, okay, so this is just it's an example, isn't it? Because when you look at them like here and here, there's a massive contrast. But then for some reason, when you see them knit like this, the contrast just seems so much less. Yeah. Are these my favourite socks I've knit? I'm not sure. Maybe once I put them on. Although, no, I'm not going to put them on though, am I? They're for my mum. Maybe once they're blocked and it's sort of like stretched out a bit. Maybe it's sort of just I haven't enjoyed knitting them that much. I haven't minded knitting the foot. It's this purling bit here that kind of was, I don't know, a bit problematic for me. I kept on forgetting I was meant to be purling. Or then I remembered I was meant to be purling, but I ended up purling on the wrong stitches. Classic. But they'll be done for next week. Addy premiums. I think the purple will definitely be going into my scrap. I have been thinking actually, I've got like this one is about 13 grams. But what I might start doing is putting together some of my hand dyed yarns that will look kind of nice together. They don't need to look perfect, you don't need to be a match or anything, but just be reasonably complementary. About like between 15 and 10 grams, and put them together all in a bag, and then maybe knit the kind of like sleeve to sleeve cardigan, kind of like an advent project you might do. So have about 24, 25 in there. Might need a bit more than that, but yeah, that's what I might do. So I might weigh these once I'm done and see how much yarn I have left. Oh yeah. Again, onto the toe. So this one will be on the second sock next time you see it. I do actually like this colour. This is, I don't always like how long some of these repeats are, because it just means that if you, depending on where you end up, you have to wind off so much yarn to make them match. But I'm not making these socks match. They're such a long repeat, and they're such a long repeat, but they're also, the colours all seem to match very well, so I don't think it matters if the socks don't match up completely. That doesn't bother me for some reason with these colours, so I'm just going to cast on wherever I am. I'm going to knit the toe in the colour. I'm just going to do a contrast heel. I'm going to do the toe in the pattern. These are, I don't know, who are these for? How many did I do? I always do light bulb stitch markers, so every 10 rounds I put a stitch marker in, and then so I can mark where the heel is, the top of the heel. So I get confused, I always put 2 stitch markers. So okay, so these are for my mum or my sister. Probably my mum, because it's got a longer leg. Yeah, I think they're very pretty though. These are Paintbox yarns. The cake. Actually, for a lot of my cakes, this isn't a bad cake. When I have to cake up yarn for customers though, I'm so careful. I go so slowly with the winder. I'm like, well, I'll keep it nice, because you can't be like sending someone who's bought your yarn something that looks like that. But that's not too bad compared to some of mine. Yeah, Paintbox yarns socks. It's not available on Lovecrafts at the moment, but I will link Lovecrafts for their socks, their sock yarn anyway down below. Colour SF15 Fairisle Meadow Walk. It's a nice yarn. The Paintbox yarns are rustic. They have to do a rustic feel. This is a, what, 75-25 wool? Yeah, 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. Very similar to West Yorkshire Spinners in feel. And this is also Paintbox in their solids, like a lavender lilac-y colour. I don't remember what it's called, and again, you can't get it, so got quite a bit of that going on, so that will be in a few more socks. Oh yeah, these are my Christmas scrappy socks. And someone reminded me in the comments what one of these are called. Do I remember what they said? I do. Maybe. Okay. 30 rounds of the cuff in candy cane. Then I did 10 rounds of vintage tinsel and 10 more rounds of candy cane. So we have candy cane, we have vintage tinsel. Now this is the colour I couldn't remember, and I think they said, oh, my hair's on there, Fairy Lights. I'm pretty sure Fairy Lights. And then the last one is Silent Night. So I'm going to do, I want to use up as much of this one as possible, because if I try and use up both of the ones I had the most of, I'm not going to use up much of the two of them. So what I'm going to do is just treat this one the same as the two tiny scraps. So hopefully I'll have enough to do maybe another pair of Christmassy socks, with this being like more of the main colour. So I'm going to do 10 rounds of one of the small ones, and then 10 rounds of candy cane all the way down, and try and do the heel flap and turn in this colour as well. Use up as much of it as possible. How much do I have left? Actually, let me check. I'm quite prepared today. I've even got my scales next to me. I've got 37 grams. So that's quite a bit of yarn, considering most 4 pairs of socks are what? Just over 50 grams in total, roughly. So hopefully I'll use my, and because they're scrappy, if I end up running out of it, who cares? I'll just continue striping with what's left of the others. It doesn't really matter. They're for me anyway, so they're just scrappy. That's strappy and scrappy as one word. Did I just, scrappy and stripy, new word, you see? Shakespeare, that's me. Yeah. Knit prosings, 64 stitches. On this, I quite like the 30 rounds. I think maybe it might be the yarn choice. Like in the striping, 30 rounds looks good. We'll see. But hopefully most of this will be gone and these will be finished. Because I need to get yarns out of my scraps. I need to. And then these ones, what are these ones? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on, I'll be careful not to pull a needle out. These are for my sister. 30 rounds in the charcoal not drops, Yarnsmiths Merino sock. And then the blue is Teal, I think it's Teal. Oh, that looks really nice for my nails, doesn't it? I do sometimes think, should I do like a striping jumper? I'm not really a stripy kind of gal. I do like it. Yeah, for my sister, 30 rounds, 20 for the leg, then heel flap and turn. And I've done what, 20, I normally do like 22, 24 rounds for the gusset decreases, about 22, 20, 24. And it can be longer because it depends if I've made a mistake. Because if I've made a mistake and I end up with uneven number of stitches, will I go back and fix it? No, absolutely not. I'll just continue and I'll like either skip like a decrease for one of them, or do an extra decrease on another one, and it will just even out. Who cares? Not me. Not me. Do I completely respect all those knitters who everything needs to be absolutely perfect, but that's just not me. It's not. Some things, yeah, I would. Like if it was a top or a jumper or something, yeah, I would probably go back. I wouldn't go back. I'd probably just I'd frog the whole thing. Yeah, they're Merino, they're Yarnsmiths Merino sock. Scraps as well. The other thing I've been knitting on is the, what is it called? I've got the iPad ready. Let me get that. I cannot remember what it is called. It's by Paintbox Yarns, and it is the Chilled Out Vest. So, Chilled Out Vest. Love the open sides. I'll go through it quickly because I've been through it several times, and I am getting very close to being finished with the front panel. As you can see, I've made quite a bit of progress this week. That's what, like 3 and a bit inches. A little bat stitch marker, which does match very nicely with the purple. So I need to get this to 15 inches, 15 and a quarter inches until I start doing shaping. And I think I'm at like 13 and a half inches, so I'm almost there. I will be finished with this front panel for next week, I'm pretty sure. This is just a moss stitch. It's a free pattern, so I can go into a bit more detail. I'm using 4mm needles at the moment, on the 80 centimeter cord. They're Knit Pro Basics Beach. And they're good for a very basic needle. They're good, they're smooth. This is a splitty sort of yarn, so it would be something that could snag quite a lot if you had needles, like circular needles that snagged. Then this would be a problem. I think you get a bit of like gentle fraying at the needle join, but it's a pretty good, I haven't noticed any real issue with the stitches slide perfectly happily over it. There's no real issue with that at all, no snagging at all for very inexpensive needles. The join is good. The needles for wooden needles, I know some people prefer metal needles, but I do prefer wooden ones if I can get them. They feel nicer in my hands. They're warmer as well, which I like. Got a nice sharp tip, not too sharp, but pretty sharp tip. Quite a pointy tip, let's say. It's not sharp. Actually, it's pretty sharp and you poke yourself with it. I'm using Drops Cotton Light, which I did speak about at length, maybe not coherently, but I did go on at length about it in episode 16. So if you want a bit of a yarn review, episode 6, or was it last? Oh, it was, no, I'm sure it was 16. Drops Cotton Light. I'm knitting the size 3, which might be a bit too small, and I did start on with the ribbon because the ribbon at the bottom is use a 3.5mm, and I use the Knit Picks Cubics, which are also wooden and have a good join, and that the cubic feel of them, lovely. For us as a sensory thing, the cubics are where it all, they're perfect. So not much more to say about that really. I'm still just, you know, knitting back and forth in moss stitch, but hopefully I'll be on to the back. Oh, you knocked my glass of water clean over. That would have been a problem, but I dodged that. Pay attention. Where was this needle from? Oh, maybe the last pair of socks I showed you. Yes. Back in there. So that is all the knitting I have been working on. I have been doing quite a bit of crochet. Itchy side of my nose. Oh, it's starting to like so hot in here, but my hair's starting to stick to me. Oh, I haven't done much of this one though. I do actually have, I did bring the yarn label for this one, but it's in the other box. It's in here, I think, for some reason. Is it? Thought it was. Ah, it is, yeah. So the yarn for this one is the what's on my hand? Nothing apparently. The Yarn Collective Portland Lace Merino Wool. Colour Peruvian Skies 203. It's a lace weight yarn, and progress is extremely slow. It is a lovely yarn. Let me see, I've done very little on it this week. I think I did about 25 minutes, maybe 1 hour on it. So I've only done that much. Like, what is that? 2 rows, but only like 1 bit rows because I haven't actually even finished that second row. It looks a lot more variegated on camera than it is in real life. In real life, it's not this. The camera always makes the light parts look so much lighter in comparison than they actually are. That's not helping. It is just, it just looks, it's a lot more just grey than, there's a few lighter bits. What am I even going on about? So this is, a cardigan, if you don't know, that I'm working on. It's just I'm just doing the back panel. The back panel of it is being done that way, but it's this way, so that's the length of the cardigan. I want it to be a nice sort of slightly oversized, but not dramatically oversized cardigan. It will be a V-neck. Not a not like a really drastic V-neck, but a V-neck. And I'm gonna do some pockets because I should have loads of yarn left over. I think I've got like 400 grams untouched, and it's a lace weight, so it goes far. So I'll do some pockets because I intend to wear it on my dog walks. Other places too, but my dog walks where I need pockets because women's clothes often don't have pockets. I don't, if you're not if you don't buy women's clothes, you wouldn't know, but yeah, we don't generally have pockets. Disturbia, the online shop that sell a lot of like gothic-y kind of creepy things, most of their clothes have pockets, just so you know. Not all though, so you should check. What was I saying about this? .5mm hook, lace weight yarn, taking forever. Pretty much it, I think. There's not much more to say about this one, you know, until I'm onto the front, which hopefully I'll be onto the front by the end of July. This has taken a bit of a back burner. No, that's mixing of things. It's on the back burner or taking a back seat. Taking a back burner, there we go. So it's on the back burner because I'm working on something else. So I'm working on this big old tub. Let me scooch back a bit if I can. Go. There we go. So I'll show you my wonderful artwork so you can get some idea about what I'm intending. And I don't need you guys to leave me loads of comments but oh my gosh, you should become an artist, your work will sell. I know, I'm not going to do it, okay? So here's my wonderful piece of art design for my cardigan. I know, you don't need to say it. It's fantastic. So it's intended that I'm going to crochet all the body, the sleeves and the body, not any of the ribbon, in one. So to begin, this is for my sister's birthday. She picked out all the colours from my stash. We went through and we found all my DK acrylic, and she went through and she picked out the ones. I picked out the colours that I have like 2 skeins of at least. Sorry, my face is so itchy today. Take a second. Let me take a sip of water before I spill it everywhere. Sorry for any mouth or throat noises. Yes, any yarn that I had at least 2 skeins of. Skeins, balls. We've been through this we've done this radio before with what are these called, because none of these names are accurate to what these are. I think as a community we need to find a new name for this, because this is not a skein or a hank or a ball or a cake, but we always call them balls. This is not a ball. I could not play football with this. Anyway, so this colour. These ones, Crafty Things, this is from a store in the UK, or at least England. I don't know if it's all over the UK. Home Bargains. It's a DK 100% acrylic. It is a soft acrylic. It hasn't got that crunchy plasticky feel to it. They're very inexpensive as well. I think they're only like £1. Well, I don't know if they've increased in price, because everything is constantly increasing in price. But when I bought them, they were about £1.30 for 100 grams. So I've got this colour, which is like it's called Teal. This isn't a teal, this is a grey. It's a blue grey, but it's a grey. You see, this is not teal. Then there's the Stylecraft double knit, which is a bit softer than this one, but it's still nice. This one's still nice, in copper. So I've got actually 3 of those, which means I might end up doing the cuffs and the ribbon in this colour, but we'll see. It depends how much I use of each colour, I suppose. And this is another, what is that? Oh, it's probably from the bag. This is another grey, from Home Bargains. Haven't got the labels, don't know what it's called. Oh yeah, and this pink, which is again a Home Bargains one. This is a slightly crunchier feeling one. This isn't as soft as the other two. But again, I don't know. Oh, I do it dusky pink. This is dusky pink. So, is that it? Oh no, there's one more colour. This is a Hayfield Bonus DK, extra value. Bits of lavender all over this basket. I've been filling lavender pouches. I've been filling pouches with lavender. This is shade 0766 Pumpkin. Do I only have one of those? I only have one, that might be a... No, there's another one in there. Another one in the cubby. I've got two. Okay, so let me show you. Where are we? Let's not lose stitches at this stage, because at this stage we have a lot. We have a lot of stitches going in each row. Okay, so this is how the cardigan is working up so far. So you see I'm working it as a whole piece. This is the whole sleeve, and then we'll just fold it over and seam it. Fold it over and seamed, and then I'm just going to work the front for a bit, and then I will leave those stitches from the front panel and do like 5 rows for this half of the jumper, but 10 rows in total for the back of the neck. Then I'll cast on the stitches, the half of the stitches again for the front panel, and then repeat the set, just do mirror it. And these colours are looking good. It's like a... I was hoping that I would have enough of the pink left to do the cuffs, because I think that would look lovely, but yeah. I'm wondering if this is long enough now. I'm thinking it doesn't look as long. If I cast on chained more, I did more chains than I'd counted in my previous one, but I suppose because it's a acrylic, it will grow. Acrylic always grows when you wash it, and I always tumble it as well, because the more you wash it and tumble it, the softer, and like the softer it becomes. So it will grow actually, so I think that should be a good enough length. And I do have the ribbon to do at the bottom. It's quite nice. So this is literally 1 week. I've done this in a week. Isn't it lovely? So I want to get this done by the end of August. I mean, I should be done before then. Look how much I've done in a week. So 1 week to do a sleeve. So that will be take us like the end of... I think I should be done soon, because I say that because I have got another item I've got to crochet for my sister for her birthday. Her birthday's not until like the second half of September, so I do have time. This is, I don't know if I said DK weight yarn on a 4mm hook, so it's going so quickly compared to that lace weight cardigan, and the 2.5mm hook. This just feels like it's flying off the hook. So that's that. I will probably be showing you this again next week, because I hope to have finished the front panel and maybe the half of the back for next time, because I would like to get this done so I can wash it and put it away and have it all ready to go, because I'm such a last minute present maker. So I really do want to have it just done. So that is everything I have been working on. Let me take another sip. It's so hot, I need to stay hydrated. Remember, stay hydrated in this heat. I didn't stay hydrated last week. I felt so unwell on Thursday. I don't think why didn't I drink anything? What was I doing? I was doing something, and I completely forgot, and then before I realised it, I had a thumping headache and it was awful. So that is everything. Oh, I'll put this back as well. Try and keep it all together. That's everything I've been working on, so I'll just quickly go through what I've been reading, listening to, whatnot. Okay, so I'll just quickly mention this one. If it will work. No? We're not going to do that? Oh, there we go. This is The Wolf and the Witch by Charissa Weeks. All I'm going to say, my opinion hasn't changed from last week. I'm going to listen to a chapter a day, get through it, pardon me, because I do want to listen to book number 4 when it comes out, which will be back, I hope, to the original storyline. But I don't want to miss this book out and then have things happen in that I don't understand what's going on in book 4. So I'll listen to a chapter a day, but not enjoying it. I'm listening to, as an enjoyment listen, to War Prize, which is Chronicles of the Warland series by Elizabeth Vaughan. I'm only on the first chapter, but I'm enjoying it so far. The narrator of the book, a little bit annoying, but I can deal with it for now. Because I think once I get into the story, I'm not going to be listening to the actual voice as much, and it's bearable. She's, where's the description? Oh yeah. The daughter of a warrior king, Lara was trained as a healer. When her father dead? No, not when, with. Can I read? Who knows? With her father dead and her incompetent half-brother on the throne, the kingdom is in danger of falling to war in Firelanders. Unable to depose her sibling or negotiate peace, Lara serves her people by healing the warriors on both sides of the conflict who are injured in battle. Lara finds herself educated in her enemy's language and customs in return for her attention and compassion. She never expects that her deeds done in good faith would lead to the handsome and mysterious Firelander warlord demanding her exchange for a ceasefire. To save her land and her people, Lara trades her freedom to become the War Prize. It's quite good so far. I shall update you next week if it is not any good, or if it is still good. Either way, you'll be updated. What else? Oh yeah, we watched a film on the weekend, which was Speak No Evil with James McAvoy. Very good. Was it surprising? Big twist? No. Like, you know from the beginning that James McAvoy's character is obviously a problem, and that remains true throughout the film. But did I enjoy it? Yeah. Like, James McAvoy is very frightening when he wants to be. He also, like, because he's not a big man, I don't think he's like particularly tall. He's probably like average height, but he gets so muscular that you sort of think, yeah, no, that is quite terrifying. Yeah. It's good if you want to watch a film that, like, you'll be shouting at some of the characters. Not me so much, but my sister is a big, like, shouting at the people what to do. And she did that a lot during this film. So that was released in 2024. I would recommend it. We are still watching Virgin River. I didn't even realise, because I don't know if it's a spoiler, but the woman who, I won't name characters just in case people want to watch. The character who is pregnant, I think, at the end of season 1, still pregnant towards the end of season 4. I honestly had thought normally in like 4 seasons, you'd be at least like, what, 2 years down the line? No, we're not even 9 months down the line. And that was quite surprising for me. Which it shouldn't have been, because I knew she was still pregnant, so it was less than 9 months. But yeah, we're watching that, and still watching Yellowstone. We're almost in Virgin River. We're almost to the part. I think we're about at the part that I stopped watching the first time round. So it's at least going to be new stuff to me. Yellowstone was still on season 2. I think we've seen season 3, so after season 3 it'll be new stuff. And that's it for what I've been watching. So the only oh, hold on, that's my invoice with all the yarn names for my spoiler. I bought yarn. So my invoice with all the names, because I'm not going to remember what they're called, and a lot of my drops, and they don't put the name on there, so I'm just going to grab that. So you guys just chat amongst yourself for a second, and I will be back. Hey. That was a bit of a manoeuvring because Dita is just laying sleeping here, but she's actually been a very good girl this time, so shh, don't call her name and wake her up or anything. Yes, I bought yarn. And that's not even all of it. Okay. Does it make me happy? Yeah, it does. It was my birthday month, you know, I should be able to treat myself. Don't tell anyone. But I treated myself again. I did. I bought some yarn from the range online. In my defence, hear me out, in my defence, it is a yarn I saw like months and months and months ago in the shop, and I wanted it, but I didn't buy it. And then when I was looking online, I was just having a peruse, just browsing online, and it was half price. So what was I supposed to do? Not get the yarn I'd wanted when it was half price? That's silly. That'd be silly, because then if I go to buy it in like 6 months' time, it'll cost me twice as much. So that would be false economy, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I bought 10 of these Drops Cotton Light. This is Crimson Red, number 47. I bought 10 of these, which I didn't think it was going to be quite this red. Online it looked deeper red, so I'm thinking this might actually be a bit bolder than I'd intended, so I might make something different out of this. I'd intended to make a what had I intended? Can't remember. But I'm gonna make something else, which makes no sense because I can't remember. Alright, let's just move on. I got 10 of those because they were 80p each, so I can make a whole top for £8. That's pretty good, I think. Get these all out of the way. Yeah. Then I got more Cotton Light. This colour is lovely, and this is going to look lovely. See? This is Dark Ivy, colour number 50, and that is what I expected. I think it's going to look good. It's good with my nails as well, actually. 10 of those as well. I got 10 because a lot of the patterns I've been looking at say roughly 6 or 7, like 7, but I'm not going to gauge swatch. I'm not going to do it. I will not do it. I will not. I don't know why, but I got extra, so I'll definitely have enough. So 10 of those. And I also got, nope, not that one yet. it in here or is it in the other bag? Well, I'll do everything that's in this bag, even if it's not all the same. Let's get these out of the way. So I got some drops musk. Did I tell you what? I don't really tell you what this is again, do I? Because I've already said previously, but it's 50% cotton, 50% polyester. This one is Drops Muscat, which is a 100% mercerized cotton, I think. Yeah, 100% cotton. It's mercerized, so it's got like a sheen to it. I don't know if you can see, the light's kind of gone away. Maybe one of the other colours you'll be able to see the sheen better. But this is just black, and it is a very black. It's like a lovely top. It's DK. Number 17. I got, you can probably guess, 10. And this was, I can't remember. I got some Drops Fable in their Unicolor, which is something apple green, which is colour number 112. Which is their 4-ply sock yarn, 75% wool, 25% polyamide. I got this just to do some contrasting. Oh, that's nice for my nails as well. Got 2 of those, they're 50 grams each. And then I decided to treat myself to some more sock yarn. I know I've said I'm not going to buy any more sock yarn. Until I use up what I've got. I wasn't lying, but obviously I wasn't telling the truth. Because in my defence, the Christmas sock yarn always sells out before I get to it if I buy it later in the year. So I bought it now so I can knit some Christmas socks around Christmas time. So anyway, it's a new range from Stylecraft in their head over heels sock yarn. And this is, it's a 75% superwash wool, no, scratch that, 73% superwash wool, 25 polyamide, 2% polyester. So I think the polyester is the sparkly. This is in shade 5551 Miracle. And it's like a stripy, should be striping. And I got this one. It's all Stylecraft head over heels, so I won't bother saying that bit every time. This is 5555 Elf, and it does look quite similar to the other one, but it's not the same. And that's what it should roughly knit up like. Wait, see, I spoke too soon. She's being such a good girl. She's just sleeping. No, she's awake and scratching. Baby, come and lay down. Tita, come here. I know, you're a good girl. Lay down. Lay down. This one is 5550 Nativity. Look at it. Lovely, I love it. This one is 5554 Chronicle. That's lovely too. Isn't it lovely? I think this is all of the colours. I think I got one of each of their new Christmas colours. This one is very pretty, but it's a bit pastel-y for me, but you know, I got the whole range because I think my sister would like these. It's quite soft. Stylecraft sock yarn is softer for like a superwash woolly one. It's not merino, it just says wool, so it is more of it is a woolly base. It's not soft like merino, but it is considerably softer to the touch, and it makes a smoother garment. When you touch the sock, it feels much smoother than a Paintbox or a West Yorkshire Spinners or a Regia. It's much softer, much smoother, which looks like that. It's pretty, but it's not quite in my wheelhouse. And I think there's one more, yeah, which is this one. Again, this is a bit pastel-y, but I still bought it because it is pretty. It's North Pole. It should knit up like that. And then I got, I think that is, oh yeah, I got some new knitting needles to try. But what are they? Dita, please stop it, baby. Up. Stop, please. They're Drops Basic double point knitting needles. Can I get into them? That is the question. Oh, I've got some snippers. Should I use my yarn snippers to open things? No. But I will. That should do it. It didn't do it. Didn't even start to do it. Let's go all the way along. Oops, sniffing my new yarn. Very neatly packaged. They're not going to bend. Oh. Ah, there they are. Okay. So I got these to try because I've never used the Drops needles. These are Drops Basic. They are 2.5mm and I think they're 20 centimeters. So they're longer than my other ones. But I was thinking about trying to knit some Christmas stockings, which aren't going to be enormous Christmas stockings. I don't intend to put like a bicycle in one of them, but you know, just something you could put. So I could, instead of doing like, I could do like maybe 80 something stitches on these ones. But I thought I'd try them out, tell you guys what they're like, because they're not very expensive. They were £1.70 for these ones, £1.70 in Great British pound. So I shall try them out and I'll tell you what they're like. Because I'm always looking for inexpensive needles because, as you can see, I've always got too many socks on the needles anyway. So if we can find inexpensive ones that work nicely, why not? And, oh, I thought Dita likes to find my bags of yarn and curl up on them. It's very cute, but depending on the yarn, it's not always ideal. Okay, so I did say I have more, and it's true. Here's the other one. Okay, in my defense, the first one I'm about to show you was not bought by me. It was bought by my mum for my sister for her birthday present. So my mum purchased this yarn for me to make her a crochet jumper. That's the Drops Cotton Merino. This colour is Rust, I think. Yeah, Rust, number 25. So this is, I think, 50% cotton, 50% merino. I think. Yeah, 50% wool, 50% cotton. It says wool, but it's also cotton merino, so I think it's merino wool. I do love this yarn. I was looking at making her one because the cotton merino doesn't have the biggest colour range. So I had asked my sister if she'd want me to do it in a Drops Fable because there's many more colours, but she's very sensitive to feel, like, texture. So she felt my blue one that I made earlier in the year, which is cotton merino, and said she wanted one that felt like that. So we went for the cotton merino in the shade Rust, and we got 11 balls. I only used just over 9 for my one, but I wanted to make sure we had enough. And also I've got some if I need to make any alterations. So I got 11 of those. And then I got some more Cotton Light. This is in grey, I think. This is in dark grey 30, Cotton Light. And I got 10 of those. And I got another Drops Muscat, which is in taupe, number 24. Again, you can see the sheen a bit better on that one, I think. I've got a hair right in my eyeball on my own hairs. Do your hairs ever do that? You get like your little baby hairs just sort of like turn sideways and just poke right into your own eyeball. Like, you're my hair, why are you hurting me? I want to make some, like, this one although it's 100% cotton, I'm thinking of the Drops Muscat more like autumn. That's why I've picked darker, like, colours for autumn. And then there's this one in the Muscat, which is pomegranate, and this is how I hoped it would be. I hoped it would be this kind of pink, like a kind of warmer pink, not like a pinky pink, and this is how I wanted it, which is number 87. Is that everything? Yes, I think that is all of it. Yeah, so it's not that much yarn, really, all things considered. Yeah, mostly my thumbnail. You know, YouTube always tries to do me dirty on my thumbnails. That's why I have to go through often and take some screenshots of things, because they pick the goof. I mean, I know I look goofy a lot of the time anyway, but they pick my most goofy moments and suggest, oh, maybe this one is the one you want to try and get people to watch. No thanks. So that is everything I've bought. I will show you my other yarn when it comes. It's like a, it's not a sparkle yarn, it's a sequin yarn. So it's like it says to use a 6mm needle, but I don't think that's true, because it feels like with the meterage it should be a DK, but we'll see. Maybe it's just because of the sparkles, I don't know. But it's like a grey with like greyish and clear sequins. So that's everything I bought. I'll show you quickly some of the yarns that are in my shop, because there won't be anything new coming to the shop for a couple of weeks, really, because it's too hot to dye out there. So I shall show you a few things that are in the shop and in the sale up until the end of the month. So if there is something you have your eye on, grab it while it's 30% off. So this one is Springtime. This is yellows and greens on my sparkle sock. The sparkle hanks are so much smaller. They're like this little, comparatively, they're like these little nuggets, so they always look much messier. It's impossible to get them to look completely neat, but they cake up just fine. So there's Springtime, that's in my shop. There we go. Very professionally done. Then we have Late to the Party, which is one of my favourite yarns I've dyed. It really is. This like aqua, and then the dark mauve, and then these greens where they would just meld together with the aqua. I've knit a pair of socks with these actually. They're actually upstairs in my box. I can show them next week with this so you can see what they look like. Although you can just see on my Instagram. Me trying to lean on a chair that's not there because I've moved backwards since me falling off. This is Late to the Party, from the song by Casey Musgraves, Late to the Party. And I've shown you River already. And then this one is Antique, which is greens and grey. I haven't knit this one yet, but I really do want to. I think my mum would actually love a pair of these socks because she loves greens. Yeah, this is better. Hold on, she's scratching again. Baby, baby. Oh no, don't kick yourself in the face. Don't kick yourself in the face. Allergy season is not kind to Dita. And then the last one I'll show you is Flower Garden. I won't take the band off of these ones because getting the minis back in there can be problematic. So you get 5 minis, so you get 100 grams. They're all one of a kind. I haven't written down the process or anything, so these are the only ones there will be. And this is Flower Garden. So yeah, I think that is everything. Pretty sure. Get this hair off my chest. Yeah, that is everything. So let me say thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers in general. If you did like this video and you're not subscribed, it would mean a lot to me if you did subscribe. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you do like this video, if you just click like and maybe leave a comment. I do try and get back to people as soon as possible when they comment, but sometimes I can be a little bit late, but I do always respond. So thank you for watching. I will see you again next week. Bye.